How many of you have passed by a cop with a canine? What were your thoughts when doing so? Some of you may have passed feeling a little bit nervous, or others may have cooed at the dog. Personally, I would have done a little bit of both, but there would have been a question in my mind. What is that dog there for? Some of you may think it's there for a drug bust or there to intimidate someone, but that's not always the case. According to a study from a student at the University of Central Florida, Orlando, prior to the last 20 years, canines were primarily used for their intimidating presence when confronting would-be combatants or fleeing felons. How canines are used has drastically changed over the last 20 years. What are those differences? For one, intimidation isn't their main usage. Every police dog has some sort of drive or mini drives that they're born with. These are assessed as to see what kind of job would best suit the canine. These are known as play drive, prey drive, and defensive drive. Play drive is what is needed for narcotic or explosive detection. Prey drive is what is needed for suspect detection, and defensive drive is what is needed for the dog to want to defend itself. According to the Florida study in 2000, in the state of Florida, there were 218 in narcotic detection, 168 in tracking, 148 in patrol only, 46 in explosive detection, and 21 in search and rescue. Police canines are now used for sniffing out drugs, finding evidence left at a crime scene, searching out human persons in darkened rooms, detecting explosives, getting officers out of harm's way, and finding missing or wanting persons. They also have been used to find banned fruits and vegetables, along with detecting dangerous snakes and insects. They currently are still finding ways that canines could be used to assist officers. The government, for example, is looking into having them trained to find biological warfare agents, biohazards, and toxic dump sites. This would be a huge advancement that could be used in many ways. In the Florida study, they went into more depth about the police dog being used to search out a building. In their statistics, canine teams were able to locate suspects 93% of the time, while human teams were only successful 59% of the time. This not only shows how useful they are, but makes searching buildings safer and more effective. What if the canine is attacked while in these situations? Is there some sort of protective vest? There are bulletproof vests, but they're not as effective as one might think. According to the KBY News report on November 18th, 2016 by Logan S., bulletproof vests not only can overheat the dog, but limit mobility, making it harder for the dog to move around. They also could get caught on things that they wouldn't if the vest wasn't in use. Boise Police, for example, doesn't use them as they find it hinders the dog more than helps. According to the American Kennel Club, panting, vasodilation, and limited sweating are not as effective in cooling dogs as sweating is for humans. This poses risks for dogs ranging from heat stress and heat exhaustion to heat stroke. As stated in the KBY News report, they're hoping that someday they'll be able to create a vest that is lightweight and allows free movement, as well as protect the dog from knife and gun wounds. An example of a canine some of you may have heard of is Jardo. He was part of the Boise Police Department for 3 years. Jardo was a Belgian Malinois and was added to the Boise police team in 2013. He worked on 900 incidents, 250 of which resulted in arrests. He had training in drug detection and suspect apprehension, so he was what you think of when you think of the classic police dog. But he was more than that. He acted just like every other house pet. According to a newscasting posted on KBY News on November 17, 2016, the Boise Police Department said he would force his muzzle into officers' hands to get them to pet him. They talked about how he also loved to swim in the creek next to their handler's home and was an all-around great dog to have on the force. Unfortunately, he did pass away in the line of duty. He had found a suspect's hiding spot, and the suspect ended up opening fire on the officers. one veteran officer by the name of Corporal Kevin Holtree, who was paralyzed from the belly button down and had to amputate a leg due to the incident, says that Jardo saved his life by going after the man to prevent more shots at the officers. Jardo has since been awarded the Canine Medal of Honor and a Police Cross. His name was plastered on a statue that honored other canines that passed away in the line of duty. This story is unfortunate, but is a great example of what canines do for officers every day.